This episode is sponsored by Where to Shop and Dine. Download the app on Google Play Store or Apple App Store today. Connecting colleges and communities. Welcome back. You're watching Scene TV, and I'm Maya McNulty, your host. Schenectady Cable Entertainment News and Events. What an honor we have in the studio today, Mr. Lou Ismay and George Kaleshian. They're the co-founders of One Energy and Zeroenergy. So I'd like to welcome them to the studio.
Thank you.
Hi. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Hi.
Fantastic. So, Lou, give me a little backstory on yourself, and you are also the current president of SAC Studios.
Yes.
So give us a little bit information on you.
Well, I've had the pleasure of being a part of public organizations for a number of years, and the chief executive. I won't run down the list, but my career started in education, and I went to museum work and arts field and various other activities. Television, what we're speaking of now, I did some of the early WMHT programs. That we did not have a studio at the time, so we used commercial studios, and they were very good helping the TV public end of television. And then I became a member of the board of SAC, maybe about 15 or so years ago, and that's my connection.
Wonderful. Excuse me, George, tell us a little bit about you and your background.
My background, I went to locally, I came to this country when I was 10 and a half years old, from Beirut, Lebanon. I'm Armenian, and then I went to local high school, Albany, then I went to Albany State, and in the first couple of years at Albany State, I was just playing sports until Lou one day cornered me, said, "When are you going to stop fooling around with sports, get serious in school business?" And he invited me to go to his class in the environmental forum. And then the next couple of years, I was, got really involved. From his course, I ended up coming out with a double major. Everybody was surprised, like environmental studies program, and I continued from that time, from I think it was 1970, end of 70, and I became the president of Protect Environment Club, on campus, and he was the main person that really motivated me, and he was the main person that gave projects that we had to do, and about 10 years ago, people asked me about this was in the paper. They said, "How did you start One Energy, Zeroenergy?" I said, "I'm still doing the 3-credit course Lou had." Now, then I went to RPI, got my design, planning, environmental engineering degree, and but still through all that time, Lou and I were involved, continuously. He came to my graduation at RPI. Still got the pictures, you, Mr. Camp, and I, and that's the start, how we started it.
Yeah. So how did you develop this passion for environmental studies and for One Energy?
Well, besides Lou, there was another gentleman that Lou and I were very close with. His name was Bob Kemp. He used to come to he was always, it wasn't just students, we had all kinds of great people from the community come to his class. His class was 24/7, was open 24/7. His student in the art department, so there was no locks. So people came all the time, community people came all the time. So I just want to tell you about Bob Kemp. Bob Kemp was, he's the one who invented, he was an inventor, and he was part of inventing the fiberglass for boats and for the planes. And he was a patent attorney for Advance, and he was also patent attorney for many great people like Sikorsky Airline. And he was the person that could walk down the Washington and knows everybody. He's the one who designed the every little detail on the drawings and every information. So the inventor maybe go 80 or 90%, but he was the one who finalized it and got the patents. I think he got, for us, 19 patents. And also he was the father of hydrogen economy. He was the father of, he was, all his thinking, all the things he did was, he was way ahead of his time.
Visionary for sure.
A very close friend of Lou's and mine.
Yeah, wonderful. So tell us how One Energy, you both are the co-founders of One Energy, how's that revolutionizing the way the world and like you're living daily?
One Energy, for 8 years I was with Advanced Energy Technology, decided to have our own company. There were 3 of us at that point. And basically what we were looking at are, I could tell you what we had put together. We put together basically you have to turn in, what the company is about. And what we decided to do, and he was very instrumental in putting the whole vision of it, is trying to get from the best from the world on energy, environment, health, products, information at that time. And that's what we wanted to do, to bring together the best of everything dealing with complete zero energy structures.
George, speak to the audience and share with them, how is One Energy revolutionizing the future?
Okay. Well, One Energy, we started in 1981, 82, after I left Advanced Energy Technology, and Lou was the one who formed the company until I came over. What our vision was to take the best of the best from around the world, all right, and put it together, dealing with commercial, industrial, institutional, and residential buildings. Mm-hmm. And we looked at the whole spectrum of using conservation, recovery, change of state, the latest technologies, renewable alternate, and we put that in our designs, planning, in our buildings. And so we look at this way. We first thing we do is reduce the kilowatts, the homes that are being used or businesses, reduce the BTUs, 65 to 75% through the 20 different forms, and then we use one of the alternate renewable fuels power technologies. And I know of over 112 that our maker has given to us. Most people only know maybe 10. But there are so many different ones, we don't have time to go into all of them.
Sure,
okay.
Sure. I want to ask Lou too. Lou, in your professional opinion, and you've been doing this project for some time now, how do you feel that what One Energy is doing is going to revolutionize the future?
The work that George has done since we started, he looks at a building, frequently commercial, and decides and we make measurements. And as George said, the electrical use and so forth. Mm-hmm. And then how the bulk of it all, then with that data, what can be saved. So George has figured out how to save energy by making little changes in how the place is operated and what is on the market as energy efficient product. Put together, saving light bulb time and all sorts of things that are necessary. One can make a building pretty efficient. Mm-hmm. A couple examples. George had a job with a beer distributor at one time, and he calculated the amount of energy that the truck brings in when it unloads. And then he took all of that energy that's being used and then saved. so that by timing the usage of the truck and shutting the doors quickly, you can save a lot of energy for heating purposes.
Sure.
So it's that kind of thing. And then inventing various ways, depending on what the site is for each of those buildings that it works with. And the residential, they're all pretty energy efficient. And over the years, that efficiency has increased because he's invented ways. I'll give you just one little example. George, years ago, recommended that the roofs of the buildings, commercial buildings at the time, be painted either white or reflective silver paint. Well, there were people who derided that. He couldn't get a positive answer.
Sure.
Years later, California, I forget right now the organization, published facts saying this is the way to save energy by reflecting the heat principally during the summertime. That's what I mean about inventive kind of things. So in many ways, he's been a leader, a pioneer, and not always appreciated because people don't understand what he does regarding the, what do they call it, fine tuning.
Yeah, sure.
That's,
Yeah. So, for the audience who don't understand what One Energy is and the technobabble behind it, what you're talking in like MHZ language, right? Megahertz and stuff. So, you have some prints that you want to share with us. So you can explain a little bit more in detail what One Energy is and why they need it.
Okay, before I show you the Zero Energy building at Soulview Estate, I just want to say I think make for the audience easier. We just got a patent on control atmospheric, control temperature, building, secure building, for our walk-in cooler and freezer. And there's the patent had 20 different claims, and these claims are different things that basically reduce the kilowatt, so we don't have to have 55, say if we use solar, 55 solar collectors, but only need 10 collectors to do the job. So reduce and that's very important. So the same concept we did for the walk-in cool freezers, we use the freezer panels for the buildings. So like my house, right? One Energy, I have a 20-inch wall. We have 12-inch block with clean fill silica sand. Then we have the freezer panel. Then we have the stone. And that's 20-inch. Even my garage door, most people back in 1980s, they had 1.5 inches insulated, if they were insulated, or wood wall. We went with the freezer door that were R40. So my garage, and then we break the frost line, and it's a fact. So it's like a 6-sided monolithic structure, like a thermos jug. You know what I'm saying? Probably
sure.
Architect, engineer with the solar angle, if we're going to use a passive design. Okay? So I'm going to show you what we're doing. My house at Solarview Estate, and I've gone at this point. I still got some more to go to totally zero energy. I'm looking forward within next year to be totally off, disconnect the power cord using the storage battery systems. This is what this year we're going to be basically building Soulview Estates. This is where we're going to have 3 more lots, and Soulview. Sorry, Lou. And basically, it's properly, laid it out. It's very important when you do the design planning that you have the you have the proper orientation. So the first thing is site planning. Okay, so in this site plan here, everything's facing south. Okay, my house is, all the buildings we say south. If somebody wants to put an underground home into the hill, we have underground home that will go in, use all the 5 sides, basically bermed underneath. Only the front will be facing, say, the south. Okay. You know, okay? So we have all the trees the way we were putting as buffering from the wind from the west and everything. So site planning is very important. The layout's very important. And so this is in Gillen Slingerland's area, and we're hoping we get this approved by the planning department by next month, and then we could move forward on people that will buy homes that will be net zero, hooked up to the grid still, and eventually we can make it go totally zero energy with the new technologies that we came up with our partners. We have eight alternate renewable fuels power manufacturers that bought into our new company, which is zero energy buildings. Okay.
Yeah, excellent, beautiful.
May I clarify something?
Yes, please.
George used the term kilowatt. Your viewers and listeners may not know that, although it would be strange. Kilowatt refers partly, it's one of the ways of measuring the amount of electricity used. George used the term for insulation as R40. R is the resistance to heat loss, and R40 is a measurement. R40 versus R60. R60 is much more effective as an insulation than R40. So that's one of the concepts. And George builds buildings with can have R40 underneath the building, can have R60 on the walls or so, and R80 on the roof. Now, if you got the most insulation on the roof, and then you even underground, that's the cube that George talks about. Is that helpful?
Yes, because this will help the audience to
Yeah.
understand a little bit more, because oftentimes when we're talking about something, George, you are a true blood entrepreneur, and you come with these ideas, and most times people will shoot you down, right? They're not going to listen because it's so visionary, and that person that you're trying to explain this story to, and this new way of thinking, this vision. If you even look at emails, right, and now you get them right on your phone, right? And the way that the world's now, we have efficient cars, and now you're going to have driverless cars. I think that's going to hurt the Uber business, right? But here you are with this zero energy with these homes and now utilities. I mean, I don't like to pay my utility bill. It's hard on that. It's expensive. So, and I do pay my utility bills, just to clarify. but to be able to be completely off the grid, you got a lot of setbacks. How'd that make you feel?
You got to be resilient, and it's basically the setbacks is because we didn't educate, or we didn't put from beginning in the right type of steps, because everybody's at different stage. You got to remember, every person is at different thinking, different stages. One of the things he said about the building envelope, then we have 3 natural cooling system and 3 natural heating systems for these buildings too. We use geothermal, we use combination of all 360-degree aspects in this. And the other thing is that automatically at night the windows on the solar greenhouse automatically come down and stop the irradiation out into the universe. You keep we have mass heat sinks that hold the heat in. Most people say your house, you leave the door open, right? In the winter, -10.
Yeah.
Guess what? It might be what? You freeze your pipes. Well, in our building, because there's so much mass inside, it might lose only a degree or 2. So I haven't put my heating units on as a backup. By the way, on a almost 1,600 and 3,000 square foot home, most people put their heat on, say, in November or October, November.
Sure.
So the only time I've used it is maybe in the, coming at the end of December, January, a little bit of backup. And for my whole house, now this must seem ridiculous, I only had a strip, like for your backup heating of like you put in your bathroom heating. That was the backup. And then the other thing is that because when you were so airtight, we have also systems for purifying. And Lou was very instrumental on that, where we have 17 different plants that purify the air, takes the benzene, trichlorides, carbon, and produce oxygen. Also, the air purifier we had goes down to 0.05 microns. He was involved with, we took over it from Environment One, the product, and he improved on it. And also to radon, look at radon mitigation. So we look at not only the energy, alternate renewable, but we look at the health aspect. Like we have in our homes, you don't put all the chemicals or inside the house. We have outside of the zero energy structure, just like the milkman, they have a milk they put from the outside of it. So all these details are very, very important for a total 360-degree concept, right, Lou?
Yeah, wonderful. You have another print you were going to share with us?
Oh, this is Zero Energy. We basically started 2009, but we're just basically 10 years. I don't want to go into it, but we're just starting this because of what I had gone through. We had some little bit of a setback, but I'm ready to go now. And this is the site plan of basically Solview Estates, and it overlooks all of the Catskill, the Tree Mountains, as Slingerlands and Gilliland area, and also the Helderberg Mountains. And it's forever wild, overlooking the whole Normanskill Valley, and it's an executive site where we're going to be. We're only 2 minutes away from Cross Gates and 5 minutes to the, down at SUNY Albany, University of Albany, and Nanotech, and corridor all over. So this is going to be, and we have like 23 different natural animals and everything on the site. So it's very close to the. Yeah, we even have a sidewalk. They put it all the way up to Cross Gates Mall from the side. They brought a sidewalk right to the entrance of it. So we have a lot of people that are interested. Hopefully, once we get this passed, the final review, some of the few changes they want us to do, which we have people that want to really come there, executives, they want to move into the site. And it's going to be a start. Hopefully, down the line, I have people interested to join forces to build a big subdivision, with totally zero energy, total energy, environment, health, design structure.
Yeah, wonderful. Speak on some of the clients that you have. You can just randomly list some of them that have actually seen your vision and are implementing what your company, One Energy, is doing.
Well, we
so
were
just so people don't think this is a fad or this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
No. We have, at this point, we have so many projects online. We just finished consulting work, for a major project here in Schenectady, where we're hoping to have it finished by end of August, start September. One part is already done. It's Bountiful Bread from Stuyvesant Plaza, White Management. I've done a lot of work with him and his father going 25, 30 years ago. They used to have the not only probably everybody knows about the manjas, and they already know about their company. So what we're doing is that we're taking a lot of these concepts I was talking about. They have their bakery, they have the restaurant, and they have a pizza business tied in for 2 blocks, down the bottom floor, second floor. And what we've done is that there's heat, that's generated from 440 degrees from the baking oven. Well, we take an exchanger, guy could take that heat, put it in big tanks, and then from those tanks, we pump it to for radiant heat on the floor, insulate, reflect before radiant heat, so they don't have to use any heat during the winter time. And also, we're going to do the same thing. For the pizza, it's up to 900 wood fired, so we have the exchanger for that. But then on top of it, we have another exchanger that brings the air over to the other side where the bar and the pizza place is, so free heat. So there's during the winter heat gain, and then normally it'd be heat dump when you don't need it into the hood system. That's just one of the dozen things we're doing, and also all the lighting, as he had mentioned, LED lighting, for his architect has already incorporated for the inside. All the equipment going to be Energy Star equivalent. They're going to put our new Zeroenergy walk-in cooler or freezer, the new patent, for the bakery area, and also we're going to put in the restaurant the zero energy cool freezer, on and on and on and on. There's over 20 different things to lower the kilowatt and BTUs, like we discussed, 65, 70%. Then we don't need as much renewable energy system to make it go net zero.
Yeah, so that's been your favorite project to work on right now is the
Well,
Bunchville
that's
Bread?
one, yeah, that's the one near us, but we have also Catskill Artesian Smokehouse. I've been working with for the, well, I guess over 30 years, right, Lou?
Yeah.
And I started with them, where we're going to now, we started, they basically were Fisher, they used to just go out doing, for salmon fishing, and they used to go and just smoke it, you know. So I started in their garage, a small little smoker, 6x8, and then a cooler. Then the three-car garage got built, expanded. Then before you know it, I had to build a 20x30 unit outside the garage, in a residential in the woods. But of course they can't do that, so they found a new place down in between New Paltz and Newburgh, 185 acres. So from that building, I found retrofitted that building. Then we built 3 years ago another new building. Then now we're building a very big building, 9 different major coolers going to be built, where we're tying all 3 buildings together, and they are now started there. And Lou was involved because he was involved with helping out. You remember Lou going down there and helping out with selling? And guess what? They got the whole national Whole Foods is not carrying their 17 different products, salmon products. So on and on. There's so many different. I got 4 or 5 different major jobs.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you too.
And then we just got Hilton, and we're going to be delivering these energy efficient down at Poughkeepsie, and then we got in New Jersey about 150 units down there. And one of the gentlemen that just came was with Price Chopper for 38 years. He was vice president. I made him the vice president of the company, and he's handling some of the bigger accounts for us. He used to oversee over 200, 250 people. And a lot of great things happening with buying groups now that come in because I have this product. So we were also, again, we were on 60 Minutes. We have done 3 municipal buildings. We've done schools. We have done restaurants. You know, I think I have over 827 restaurants. Out of that, probably a dozen of them I've done that for in the Greater Capital District. We were all of New England. Lou was on a project with he's very. He says he hasn't done much, but he was involved with some of the key area of penetration of industries. So the biggest industries we're involved with: New York State food merchants, New York State beer wholesalers. We're involved with I know every one of the owners.
George, thank you so much for sharing One Energy with us and the audience, and to help them better understand what a movement and vision you have for the future. And Lou, thank you so much for your inspiration and vision as well. George, you've given us so much to see your vision and your passion for this project. And Lou, you as well, thank you so much for your contribution. What a visionary man you are. What an honor it is to have you here today. George, if our audience and our commercials companies would like to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
They could call our main number, 518-459-8000, or go to website zeroenergyinc.com.
Super. I want to thank you both so much for being on the show today. The audience has learned so much about Zero Energy, and I actually have so much energy now because I met the man behind this whole thing, and I'm so excited about it. So thank you guys all for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you.
The show you are watching has been produced by SACC.TV. SAC TV is a not-for-profit organization that provides educational programming, seeking to enrich communities by producing shows on culture, science, health, the arts, and more. SAC TV is member-driven, which means that we rely on donations, grants, underwriting, and volunteers to deliver quality content. SAC.TV has been in operation continually since 1974 and currently operates a full-time studio in Rotterdam, New York. In recent years, SAC.TV has produced over 500 community-driven programs that are all available to view free to the public on www.sac.tv, on demand 24 hours a day. SAC.TV also airs shows on local television, channels such as WNYT, My4 Albany, with programs like Do You Know the Muffin Man, Caught in the Crossfire, Scene TV, Tune into Wellness Today, and The Janice Thompson Show. Check your local programming schedule or www.sac.tv for times and dates. In SAC.tv's mission to connect and inform communities and individuals, every week we're producing new shows. To be able to provide this service, we are in need of your help. There's a lot of ways you can help SAC.tv and in turn help your community. Visit www.sac.tv. There you can click on Donate and select the contribution level of your choice. You can also help SAC.tv by sponsoring an ongoing program, volunteering behind the scenes, or even producing your own show. And as always, if you enjoy what you've seen, visit us on YouTube and Facebook. Subscribe, like, share, and pass the word around. For more information and to see the latest shows, visit www.sac.tv or contact us as director@sac.tv or by phone at 518-831-9145. For now, back to our program, and stay tuned for more great shows.